Everybody, I just almost completely forgot to do this guide for Gara'jal, whatever. And because I guess I kind of forgot this fight existed for some reason for a second. Anyways, so we're going to jump in and do this. As I mentioned for the other two that I just did, if you haven't seen these guides before, they're certainly not detailed encounters to show to somebody who's never seen detailed guides to show someone who's never seen the encounter before. They basically assume you know all the mechanics, but are having trouble dealing with something, and so this is how I try and explain the best way to optimize them, optimize your approach for killing the boss. These are normal modes, so unfortunately there's not a lot to do, but I will do my best. So let's tab over. I tend to always do this with the kill video in the background to give you something to watch while I ramble and talk about stuff. So let's do that. This is going to be me live down here in the bottom, even though that's normally where my stream, my webcam is on the stream, and it's there, but I'm just covering it up with mine so that it's relevant. Anyways, so this fight is basically kind of a DPS check at the moment. It'll get much easier with gear, but right now it comes down to figuring out how to best, you don't want to hit the 6-minute enrage timer. So it comes down to handling who you send down to these, as you can see I'm doing right now on the stream, who goes into the spirit world, and how you do it. The best way to do this is just to have a skilled group that can coordinate itself live, because you can't ever send down, the people who get voodoo dolls, and you always want to send one healer ideally, and 2 DPS. The healers need to know which heals they should be tossing to maximize the number of stacks of the buff the DPS get while they're down there, so that they do more damage when they come back out. And you want to make sure that you get the biggest stack of the buff that you can right before you tell the DPS to go out. So the healer should be communicating with the 2 DPS that they're healing down there and telling them when they should be leaving, so that DPS don't have to track the percentage of the buff that they have on them, because it doesn't actually change the name or get stacks or anything like that. So without mousing over it, the DPS don't always know what size heal they have. So you want to always make sure that, so you have to do this in heroic mode, but in normal mode you don't want to send the same DPS down twice in a row, because you want to take advantage of the buff that they just gained to kill the boss, obviously. It's okay, so now I'm taking the third one, because I'm not a voodoo doll, and I've communicated that. Another DPS said I'm good to go, and we wait till we hit the healer, save it over here, and at this point we go down. We 2-healed this fight. Looking at our DPS meters, yeah, 2 healed and 2 healed, 2 tank. So another thing is you want to send classes down here that have the ability to dot up the ads ideally, or kill them extremely quickly, just to keep them under control and pretty easy to manage. That's why I set myself down in addition to other things, so I can just dot them all. And they die pretty quick to the dots, with whatever health they have, 270k, so 300k health. Looks like we lost the rogue for a second there. I didn't realize that it happened during the pull. I wasn't paying very good attention, I guess. And that's about it. You want to make sure that you're saving your cooldowns for the last 20% or so, or syncing them with the last time that you have the buff, basically, before you go down. It was pretty much a straightforward fight. It just came down to making sure that the people were doing what they were supposed to, who were under there. The tanks, depending on how comfortable they're feeling, are welcome to DPS some of the extra ads down there before killing their own. But again, if they're not hitting expertise capped, that can get a little dicey if they're trying to push it really far there. So that's everything I got for this fight. Pretty straightforward. The enrage does a lot of damage. You want to be using damage mitigation cooldowns on the person who's the target of the voodoo doll, who is the target of the tank. Sorry, when voodoo dolls are out, so that it reduces the total damage done to the other 2 people who are linked to them. Pretty straightforward stuff like that. Again, if you have any questions about the fight, feel free to ask them as comments, or comments are probably best. Or I guess you could start a thread on our guild's forums or something. I tend to respond to those. But again, it's a pretty straightforward fight. Remember that we did this with first day that we could. So gear is much lower than what it'll be. Fights will get much easier, and there's probably other strategies you can use once you have the gear level to ignore some things or change some things or hit different timings. But for the first week, this is certainly the way that we ended up doing it. It ended up working out quite nice. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact me. Fuck, I said that already. Have a good one. I'm going to do the last 3 of this, I guess, in a week or two. And that's Spirit Kings, Elegon, and Will of the Emperor, because I'm heading out of town. So I will see you all then. Cheers.